Man, oh man, watching that women's gold medal hockey game, that was just devastating. Team Canada losing in overtime, but even with that loss, there's so much to be excited about in the world of women's hockey right now. Rollie Pemberton is here, Tara Slone is here, and Teri Hart is here. Hello, all of you.
Hello.
Yo. Oh,
hello.
It's nice to have you in here. I'm sorry to do this to you, but we are going to relive the traumatic moment. It's going to hurt, but let's hear it right now.
Keller alone, through two, a chance in the backhand, she scores! Megan Keller, the golden goal for USA!
I like that you're posing in devastation in studio, Teri. As you listen to that was Megan Keller's goal. She wins the gold medal for the United States. I'll start with you. Let's just rip off this Band-Aid. How are you feeling after watching that game?
I don't feel good.
Okay, I don't either. Go ahead.
I don't feel good.
Get in there.
I feel, but listen, I mean, this was a game that the Canadian women went into as underdogs, as quite significant underdogs. And so I think that they gave us a run that we should feel very proud of.
Cold comfort, but yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, we do have to respect respect that. I had a text with Tara actually that I can't read on radio. There was language in it that was not appropriate.
Yeah.
But then I also had a text with producer Stuart, and I think that his daughter summed it up because Stuart texted me and said, "My daughter is all caps weeping. Her first real case of sports heartbreak." And I think that is it, right? Like, I think that we collectively felt that heartbreak.
Yeah.
You know, that team, Marie-Philippe Poulin.
Yeah.
It was just, we were cheering so, and there's something about women's hockey for me that is quintessentially Olympics.
Yeah. I mean, I should say, like, this is not a sports show, right? So, like, we don't really like to talk about, like, the very specific logistics or specifics of the game, but we talk about these sporting moments as, like, a cultural moment that we all kind of experience together.
This
What's
is a
your
show
sense of
about
how we
feelings.
It is a show about, thank you. I agree it's a show about feelings. Well, given that, though, how do you think, like, that as a cultural moment sort of makes us sort of feel?
I think it makes us feel like, I think that Canada are, even in hockey, we're pretty good losers. And it's something that I think we should feel proud of. I think that everybody felt like good for them. That was a great effort. What a run. Well-deserved silver. I think there was a lot of positive about that and a lot of questions about, like, okay, where are we going next?
Yeah.
And I like that about us. I really do.
Again, cold comfort. Like, waking up telling the nation, hey, we're pretty good at losing is a hard thing to swallow, man. I mean, Tara, I'll go to you. What was it like for you watching this game?
Oh my God, the agony.
The agony is real. Yes.
I think it wouldn't have been as devastating if Canada did not play a great tournament. When they played the Swiss captain called them beatable, and they looked on the bubble. But we saw glimpses of times past where this team really was galvanized and strong, and they were defensively strong. And so we saw this team come to life in this final game. And I think that was what was so hard and we were, of course, so close, 2 minutes left in the third.
We were winning.
Everything crumbled.
Yeah.
But, and I want to add to something that Teri said. I think, yes, as a country and, of course, as athletes, they are gracious losers.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that these women, and I remember talking to Sarah Nurse about Pyeongchang. I mean, they want to erase that from their memories. If they could go under some procedure to have it permanently deleted, they would, because it is such a blight to them. And so this is going to be extremely disappointing for the individual players, for sure.
I want to broaden the context a little bit, Tara, because we're also in this moment where this is the first Winter Olympics since the launch of the Professional Women's Hockey League. And even though we didn't get that result that we wanted, talk to me about the importance of this final happening now that we have the league and exists. Talk to me about how this changes our relationship to women's hockey going forward.
Well, the Olympics always provides a bump. So, they have our attention every 4 years. And now, it's so now it's amplified in the world, and we have something to look forward to, next week, basically. And so, first of all, it ensures that all these women are playing best on best all the time throughout the season. So, we're not going to lose the fans that would have come and then had nowhere to watch until the World Championships. And I'm going to say this also about the broadcasters. It's very clear to me that having a women's league and having the opportunity to broadcast consistently has made the Canadian broadcast team stellar. I thought and this isn't just because I'm here on CBC, I thought they were phenomenal. So I just think it's, we're creating a culture and an ecosystem where there's professional women and we get to watch them all the time, and it's a gift.
Rollie, I'm going to zoom out even wider. I know that you're an Edmonton Oilers fan, and this is not a question specifically about the Edmonton Oilers at all. But I would say that over the last maybe year and a half, 2 years or so, for lots of different reasons, the place of hockey in the Canadian imagination had been diminishing, right? It had sort of been shifting a little bit. It's always kind of been at the center of sort of our cultural imagination, but that had been sort of shifting because of some not great, news stories. And then you cut to this women's sort of hockey team, and then also at the same time that sort of all the excitement around heated rivalry, it feels like suddenly hockey is actually maybe not only returning but has a new glow about it. Is that? And I know, leave the Oilers out of your answer.
Sure, I'll try.
Do you think we're returning to a place where we're prizing hockey in a different way again?
Yeah, I definitely feel like that. Just even watching that game, I was feeling the pride strongly. You know, and I think anecdotally with the PWHL, people I've talked to who never used to talk about hockey, they're obsessed with that league. Yeah. And they're really excited. They're like, we need a team in Edmonton. Yeah. Everybody's talking about it. Yeah. I feel like, you want to talk about growing the game. Yeah. Watching that game yesterday, we've got a new generation that is, we got to beat America when we grow up. Yeah.
That's not only is that the case, but also there is something to be said after you have that nail biter of a game. Also, I should note, we're talking right now on Friday morning because the Olympics, lots of things are happening this weekend. And so when people listen to this conversation, we are talking Friday morning. Even after a nail biter like that one, we got to sort of contextualize that there is this sort of rivalry with the United States. It has a lot of history, and it's gotten a little worse thanks to ads like this one.
All right, Team USA, listen up. Well, I just got chills. You guys feel that? It's an honor to speak to you all before you head off to the Olympics. You're going to Milan to bring home the biggest prize of all.
Canadian tears.
Yeah. Exactly. Wait, what? What did Canada do?
Stuff.
But they're usually so polite.
Not anymore.
So that's NBC's ad. That's an NBC ad that is running. That's John Hamm that you're hearing there as the coach of the United States team. And we're going to bring, he says we're going to bring home the biggest prize of all. And the players say Canadian tears. And for point of comparison, these are the ads that Bell is running for Team Canada right now, starring Jay Baruchel.
All right, guys, listen up. We need to come together. In this moment, we're a team. Look around this room. This is your family with glittery red costumes and robust dental plans. Family sticks together. Family also works together. You, lady who puts up too many flags on her front lawn, keep doing it.
Okay.
Teri, I genuinely love these ads. I think they communicate a lot about our just different vibes and aesthetics and the images that we're trying to project. But when you hear those commercials back to back, what comes to mind for you?
I mean, I genuinely love one of those ads. I'm not going to lump them both in. Yeah. I honestly, and I'm not trying to be, obtuse here, I do not understand the John Hamm ad. So, are they saying that John Hamm doesn't understand hockey? Are they saying that the USA team are terrible?
Purely motivated by Canadian tears. Yes, I think that's what they're saying.
It's very, very confusing to me what the message is about, other than and so what did they do? They did stuff. And then for anybody listening to this and not seeing, they cut to this big fight between a Canadian U.S. player.
They're referencing the four nations hockey tournament from last year, which is Canada won, and that was a really big deal. And so they're saying they're revenge motivated. I think that was what they're trying to say. But it's clearly not landing with you, it seems.
And then did not land with me. But then you get the Jay Baruchel ad, and he's so good in it.
He's so charming in it.
He's so charming in it. Keep doing it. Put those flags on your... I love it. I love it so much. And if you know Jay a little bit, he is that guy.
He's Captain Canada.
Yeah, you did a thing in Kingston last year, and it's that is that guy. But I also think, and people may think I'm being too lofty here. I do not think I am.
I would never accuse you of that.
Thank you. I am going to compare these to the Carney Davos speech.
Wow. Okay.
And I am going
Get
to
in there.
suggest that, like that speech, maybe you don't always have to name the place you're talking about. Maybe you don't have to be as obvious as the American ad is, and you can be a little bit more subtle. Like the Jay Baruchel ad is. And I think that's who we are. And I think that makes us a better ad.
Tara, to Teri's point here, like it's been a long time since we've talked about an ad made in Canada, genuinely. So like when you sort of think about those ads and compare them back to back, do they capture the differences between the U.S. and Canada and the dynamics at play?
I think they do, or at least from a Canadian lens, they certainly do. You know, I mean, we have just developed and nurtured this absolute hate for not just the U.S. team, but like the Kachuk brothers. People are calling them the cyber trucks of humanity. So, you know, in terms of our lens, absolutely, it fits the narrative personally. I guess the only point I would make is, you know, we had the luxury of responding, right? So they put this ad out first, and you know, it's on its face, it's funny, but it is very American and just pure aggression. But we had the luxury of, you know, having some time to contemplate it and how to come back. So I do think, you know, kudos to whoever developed that commercial, because it is quintessentially Canadian. And Teri, I like what you said.
Rollie, it's not lost on me that like these ads in this conversation and the Olympics themselves are happening in a moment when like it kind of feels like the world is so divided that it's actually mostly the thing that you look at once you zoom out outside the Olympics. But do you read the Olympics as like still having that power to unify people?
You know, if you would have asked me before yesterday, I would have said no.
But then you watched that game.
I watched that game.
Yeah.
And I was so fired up. I was texting with my most Canadian friend.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about how excited we get when we have a French-Canadian goalie. You know, like just the Canadiana of it all. Like I just felt so good about it. You know, I think like the Americans, like they don't really care. Yeah. You know, this is just another beef. They just have all this kind of thing all the time.
They have many beefs. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But we do care.
Yeah.
Right? And I think this is going to mean something for generations going forward.
Rollie, I'm going to be thinking about the designation of my most Canadian friend for the rest of the day. Like, just like, who shall get the honor and title? And does it shift around, or is it sort of like a, you know, like, do you maintain that championship belt for years and years? I don't know.
He could be on a stamp.
My name is Elamin Abdelmahmoud, and this is Commotion. We're in the group chat right now. Rollie Pemberton is here, Tara Slone is here, and Teri Hart is here. And we've talked about the gold medal game and also just generally where hockey is right now. We're going to keep talking about this on Monday, so there's a bit more of a conversation about the men's team, because, of course, they're still playing. And also, we're going to talk about the closing ceremonies, but that's to come. In the meantime, I got to say goodbye to all of you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, you.
Thanks, everybody.
Teri Hart is an entertainment reporter for Super Channel. Rollie Pemberton is a writer and rapper better known as Cadence Weapon. By the way, you should look out for his new album Forager that comes out in April. And he's got a new book coming out in May. It's called Ways of Listening. And Tara Slone is a host with Sirius XM and for the San Jose Sharks on NBC Sports California. She was in Toronto. My name is Elamin Abdelmahmoud. This show is called Commotion. We'll be back on Monday. Love to see you then.